Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this review of the top 3 Keychron mechanical keyboards of 2024. Now, if you've never owned a Keychron keyboard, or you've never really owned a mechanical keyboard, you might be asking, why is Keychron so great? And the answer is that the build quality, functionality, and just tackiness of the keys, you can't beat it for the price. And in my experience, Keychron keyboards are fantastic mechanical keyboards without really spending too much money. And so, as usual, like we do in all these reviews, what we've done is we've looked at the most popular Keychron keyboards, and we handpicked the best 3 based on features, build quality, price, reviews. We've taken everything into account so that you can save time and just pick the best ones for you. And we're going to have 3 different options for you. As usual, those will be linked in the video description. So if you want to go check out the keyboards, see more information on what I cover in this video, there will be links below to the Amazon pages for these. But with that being said, let's dive in. So number 1, this is our best choice keyboard. We have the Keychron K8 Pro. Now, as you can see, this is actually a 65% keyboard. It is not a full-size keyboard. It does not have the number pad, and a couple of the keyboards that we're gonna show you in a bit do. So if you need a full-size keyboard, we will show that number 2 and number 3 pick. But this is just the best all-rounder, where if you don't need the number pad, this is a fantastic keyboard for you. It's built really well, it's wireless, and one thing I forgot to mention is that all 3 of the keyboards I'm going to be showing you work with Windows, Mac, and Linux. So it doesn't matter what your operating system is. They also have worked with Android in my experience. I actually own the K8 Pro, and I also own the C2, and I actually have the Q6 on order because I love these keyboards, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit here in my experience as well. But again, this is just the best all-rounder keyboard. The thing is built like an absolute tank. The build quality is really great. It is a little bit of a thick boy, as you can see. It's a thick keyboard, but it's built really good, and if you want to buy something it's gonna last for the money, this is your bet. It does have a white backlight, so that's something to keep in mind. And it has Keychron G Pro Brown switches, which in my experience actually don't sound too bad. Let me actually grab my K8 and let me give you a little sound preview here so you can hear what it sounds. Okay, so I've got my K8 and I want you to take a listen to what the typing sounds like. It sounds fantastic. You can hear the keys are very, very thocky. And it's really, really great typing experience too. This keyboard is actually Bluetooth, so it is wireless. You can use it with everything. You don't need a cable. Now, it does come with an optional cable that you can plug in. It uses Type-C, which is really, really nice. And one thing I forgot to mention, the great thing about Keychron keyboards, if you're a beginner, this isn't going to apply to you, but if you're more of a keyboard enthusiast, the switches on these keyboards is hot swappable. And with some of these keyboards, almost everything is switchable. So you can customize these. You can add different keys, different switches if you prefer. You can see that they actually have different variants too. Now, I have the brown switches with mine, and again, you've heard what those sound like. These switches are going to sound different. I believe the browns are a little bit more quiet than the blues and the reds, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Is that, this is a quieter version. I know some people don't like super loud mechanical keyboards, where others, they really like that typing sound. So just something to keep in mind. But again, this is the best all-rounder keyboard. If you just want a basic keyboard, for, on the go, you want something that is portable, at least to some degree, this is going to be your pick for number 1. And we found just best quality and average for most people. Coming in at number 2, we have the Q6. Now, this keyboard is really fantastic. It's a full-size keyboard. It sounds very similar to the K8, and you can see it actually has the same switches, but you get that number pad, and you also get a volume knob which can be programmed, and that's something I really, really like with this keyboard. This is a great keyboard. It is wired, it's not wireless, but this is, in my opinion, like the best Keychron keyboard on the market. And it's the most customizability from what I've seen, and it's just really, really built good. And again, I purchased this because I have friends who own this one, and it's on the way. And I'll let you hear the typing test for the 3rd choice that I have on here. But this keyboard is absolutely fantastic. And you can see, it's got very nice, like these keys are very well designed. Like even the volume knob, you can see it's got that nice little texture on it to make it very comfortable and easy to grip. And it does have, again, the Windows Mac switch, works with Linux as well. It has that USB Type-C that it plugs in with. So just a very nice keyboard. Again, if you want top of the line mechanical keyboard experience, right? and you want that number pad, this is going to be your best bet. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's just the best keyboard you can probably buy in terms of Keychron keyboards. Now I'm going to show you the budget option, and this I actually have, and this is the first Keychron keyboard I bought. Before I was really ready to dive in, I was like, let's see what the hype is like, right? So I bought this. This is actually the keyboard that's sitting at this computer. So I'm going to try to, it is wired, I'm going to try to get it close to my mic here, and I'm just going to let you hear a typing test. So I'm just going to pull up a notepad, and actually you can probably hear it already. But if I pull up like a notepad, right? Watch this. So you can see I'm starting to type, right? Let me try to make this a little bit bigger so you can see here. From the Keychron C2 full-size keyboard. And you'll hear the difference. Like if I go back to the Keychron K8, I want you to listen to this difference here. Whereas now if you listen again to the C2, you can see it still has a fantastic sound. I will tell you that the K8 actually does feel a little bit more durable. The build quality is a little bit better, even though it's wireless, where this one's wired. And the way that the keys sound, I just prefer it more to the C2 now that I own both. However, the C2 holds a special place in my heart, not just because it's the cheapest option and it's my budget pick for you guys, but because it's still a great keyboard and it's the first Keychron keyboard I bought. Now you'll notice it does look a tad bit cheap. This picture is actually not doing it justice. It does have a white backlight. It isn't exactly the most highest build quality from Keychron. Like you can see these keys, that's exactly how the paint looks on the insert home page up keys on my keyboard. It is backlit, but this is really, you are going to sacrifice some quality for this. However, it's comfortable to type on. You don't notice at a glance, and if you like the orange, white, and black design, it's a pretty nice keyboard. It's not top of the line, and again, I definitely recommend the K8 Pro. Probably my favorite now, but it is wired. But hey, it works with Windows, Mac, and Linux, and you know what? It is a very comfortable keyboard to type on. And I'm actually so used to it now that I type the fastest on this keyboard because I've been using it for so long, and I play games with this. So if you want a gaming keyboard too, it's very, very comfortable. It's very responsive. So that's something to keep in mind. It has those brown switches as well, and I just found that the brown switches are great. But again, with each of these, you can select the different switches, right? So if you want something else, you can select them, and they're all the same price. But I'll just tell you, the brown is probably great. If you want something that still sounds great, but that's quiet, like if you're using this at work and you don't want the thing to be freaking really loud, then, brown switches are going to be your best bet. But in my opinion, again, I'll just kind of recap real quick. Great keyboard for the all-rounder. In my opinion, this is a great keyboard for beginners, but also enthusiasts that has wireless. So that's why it's the first choice. Second choice, if you want top-of-the-line mechanical keyboard, definitely recommend getting the Q6. And, if you're on a budget and you just want, a full-size keyboard that isn't going to break the bank, that's fantastic to type on and has a great typing experience, the C2 is great. Again, it's not the most impressive build quality that Keychron has. These other two clearly are leagues ahead in build quality. So just something to keep in mind. But, in terms of, again, what it is and being an entry-level keyboard, it was the first Keychron keyboard I bought. I still use it. I really, really like it. So I like all three, really, because I have a friend who owns this, like I said, and I purchased this as well. But you don't have to spend $225 is what I'm saying. You can spend $100 and, you can have a fantastic type, or even $80. So once again, there will be links down below to all three keyboards I talked about here. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and until next time, I will catch you later.